Hi guys, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. My name is Muhammad Azri bin Muhammad Shud. I would like to present to all of you about the general description of muscle and the muscular system. So for your information, the muscular system is one of the major organ systems in the human body. It consists of more than 600 muscles that work together with the bones, joints and nervous system to produce movement, maintain posture and support body functions. Muscle make up approximately 40% of an adult's body weight and are essential for both voluntary action, such as walking and lifting objects, and involuntary actions such as breathing and the heartbeat. A muscle is a soft tissue made up of specialized cell called muscle fiber. This fiber contains proteins called actin and myosin, which side pass each other during contraction, allowing muscles to shorten and produce force. Muscles require energy from ATP and oxygen to function efficiently. So for your information, there are three main types of muscle in the human body. For the first one is a skeletal muscle. It is attached to bones by tendons, controlled voluntarily, responsible for body movement, posture and heat production. Example like biceps, quadriceps and calf muscles. So for the second one is the smooth muscle, found in the walls of internal organs such as the stomach, intestines, bladder and blood vessels. Controlled involuntarily by the nervous system, helps move food through the digestive tract and regulates blood flow. For the third one is a cardiac muscle, found only in the heart, contracts automatically and continuously without conscious control, responsible for pumping blood throughout the body. So for the next one, function of the muscular system. The muscular system performs several important functions such as movement. It enables activities such as walking, running, lifting and facial expressions. For the second one is the maintaining posture, keeps the body upright while standing or sitting. Example like this. For the third one is stabilizing joints, supports and protects joints during movement. For the fourth one is the heart production. Muscle contractions generate heat, helping maintain normal body temperature. For the last one is supporting body organs. Muscles protect internal organs and assist in functioning, such as breathing, digestion and blood circulation. So how did muscle works? Muscle work by contracting, shortening and relaxing. Skeletal muscles usually work in pairs because they can only pull, not push. For example, when the biceps contracts, the triceps relax to bend the elbow. When the triceps contracts, the biceps relax to straighten the elbow. This coordinated action allows smooth and controlled body movement. So for the next one what is the importance of a healthy muscular system? Maintaining a healthy muscle system is essential for overall health. Healthy muscles improve strength, balance, flexibility and endurance while reducing the risk of injury. Good muscle health can be maintained through regular physical exercise, especially strength and flexibility training, eating a balanced diet with sufficient protein, vitamins and minerals, staying hydrated, getting enough rest and sleep to allow muscles to recover and repair. So for our conclusion, the muscular system is a vital part of the human body that enables movement, supports posture, protects internal organs, and regulates body temperature. It consists of skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscles, each with specialized roles. Proper nutrition, regular exercise, and adequate rest are important for maintaining strong and healthy muscles, allowing the body to function efficiently in daily life. So that's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nariza Benjaruddin. My ID number is 2025-418-648. Today I will explain about anatomy of muscle movement. The objective is to understand mechanic, function and muscle coordination in human kinesiology. For part 1, basic joint movement. To classify of joint articulation and muscular action across anatomical plane. The first one is flexion and extension. That means altering joint angle. Flexion is movement that decrease the angle between two articulating bones. For example, this one, bending the elbow just like bicep curl. For extension is movement that increase the angle between articulating bones. Number 2 is abduction and adduction. Abduction is moving a limb or body part laterally away from sagittal midline of the body. For example, raising arm sideways. Adduction is bringing limb or body part midly toward or across the sagittal midline. Number 3 is pronation and supination. For easy to remember, supination is just like holding soup bowl. It's alternate rotation of the forearm, position the palm entirely forward or squarely upward. For pronation, internal rotation of the forearm causing the radius to cross over the ulna, positioning the palm positively off downward. Number 4 is dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Dorsiflexion is lifting the superior surface of foot upward toward the shin, reducing the joint ankle. Just imagine the foot lifting the superior surface, the foot upward toward the shin, and reducing the joint ankle. For plantar flexion, is pointing the toe downward, moving the sole of foot away from the shin. For example, standing on your tiptoe. Number 5 is inversion and eversion. Inversion is turning the sole of the foot medially inward, so the sole face forward each other. Just imagine the foot face forward each other. That is inversion. For eversion, the opposite is turning the sole of the foot laterally outward. That is facing away from the median plane. Part 2, I will explain about muscle role and coordination. To identify how skeletal muscle cooperate in functional pairing to produce stable and control movement. Number 1 is agonist and antagonist pair. Agonist is primal muscle and antagonist is opposite of primary muscle. For example, for bicep curl, bicep is primary muscle. That means is agonist. For opposite, tricep is automatically antagonist. Number 2 is synergist and fixator. Synergist muscle is muscle that assists the agonist by adding extra force or preventing unwanted rotation, deviation at intermediate joint. Meanwhile, fixator muscle is for stabilizing muscle that contract tactically to immobilize a bone or the agonist origin, providing a solid foundation for target limb movement. Just imagine the holding glass, that movement for bicep curl. That means brachialysis is synergist muscle. Meanwhile, subscapularis is fixator muscle. That's for stabilizing muscle. Next one is compact movement, multi-planar articulation. The first one is circumduction, a sequential combination of flexion, abduction, extension and adduction, creating a circular distal patch. For example, swinging the arm. Number 2 is rotation. That means the turning of the bone around the bone longitudinal axis. For example, shaking head for sign no. So that's all my explanation about muscle movement. Thank you.
Okay, everybody. So to kick things off, look around the room. Your room, every blink of an eye, every breath we take, and the rhythmic beating of our hearts, and even the silent microscopic movement of nutrients through our vessel right now. None of it is accidental. It is a masterclass in biological engineering. So today, we aren't just talking about flesh and tissue, we are diving deep into the microscopic engines that power human life. The 3 distinct types of muscle tissue. By understanding their unique histology, precise location, and specialized function, we uncovered how the human form transforms energy into life, stability, and motion. So, let us begin with the most familiar architect of the human form, skeletal muscle. Where can it be found? As the name implies, these muscles are anchored directly to our skeletal framework. They form the major muscle groups you know well: the bicep brachii, the quadriceps femoris, the deltoids, and the powerful gastrocnemius. They span across joints, attached securely by dense connective tissue called tendons. Under the microscope, skeletal muscle present a highly organized striated pattern. Why? Because the tissue is packed with repeating functional units called sarcomeres, where actin-myosin filaments light pass each other to generate force. But what truly sets skeletal muscle apart is control and structure. These fibers are elongated, cylindrical, and multinucleated. A result of embryonic myoblasts fusing together to form massive muscle capable of exerting immense power. This is the only muscle type under voluntary control. When you decide to raise your hand or take a step, your somatic nervous system sends an action potential down a motor neuron, releasing acetylcholine across the neuromuscular junction. It is a conscious, calculated command that allows us to manipulate our physical world. Okay, now let's shift our focus inward to an organ that cannot afford a single movement of fatigue, the heart. the heart. This brings us to cardiac muscle or myocardium. Where can it be found? Exclusively within the wall of the heart. It forms the thick middle layer of the atrial and ventricular walls, working continuously from before we are born until our last breath. Like skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle is striated, meaning it utilizes the same sarcomere structure for powerful contraction. However, the architecture here is drastically different. Cardiac cells are branched and typically possess only one or two central nuclei. The true magic of the myocardium lies in its cellular connection. So look closely at how these cells meet. They are joined end to end by specialized structure called interconnected discs. So deep within these discs are gap junction microscopic tunnels that allow ions to flow instantly from one cell to the next. This ensures electrical impulse sweep through the heart simultaneously, causing the cell to contract as a single coordinated unit known as a functional syncytium. Syncytium. Yes, that's one. Furthermore, cardiac muscle is entirely involuntary and autorhythmic. It doesn't wait for a signal from the brain to beat. Specialized pacemaker cells generate their own electrical impulses, keeping the rhythm of life perfectly steady. And finally, we venture into the hidden depth of the body to explore the silent, unsung hero of homeostasis, smooth muscle. Where can it be found? Smooth muscle form the structural walls of almost all our hollow internal organs. It lines the gastrointestinal tract from the esophagus to the intestine. So intestine, our stomach. It wraps around our blood vessel form the wall of the bladder and the lines of the respiratory airways. So we just said it, esophagus. Why is it called smooth? Because under a microscope, it completely lacks the striation seen in the previous two types. Why is it called smooth? Because under a microscope, it completely lacks the striation seen in the previous two types. Smooth muscle cells are spindle-shaped, tapering at the end with a single central nucleus. Because they lack sarcomeres, they don't contract in a straight line. Instead, the actin and myosin filament are arranged in a loose, lattice-like network anchored by a structure called dense bodies. When smooth muscle contracts, it twists and squeezes like a wet towel being wrung out. This allows for slow, sustained, and incredibly energy-efficient contraction. This tissue operates entirely under a voluntary control governed by autonomic nervous system and local hormone. It is smooth muscle that drives peristalsis to push food through your digestive tract, and it is smooth muscle that undergoes vasoconstriction and vasodilation to precisely regulate your blood pressure every second of the day. So, to conclude, look at how beautifully optimized this system is. The human body does not rely on one-size-fits-all mechanism. It utilizes skeletal muscle for rapid, voluntary force to navigate the outer world. It utilizes cardiac muscle for a highly coordinated, relentless lifetime of rhythmic pumping. And it utilizes smooth muscle for the quiet, continuous maintenance of our internal environment. Together, these three tissues form a flawless trinity of movement. They reminded us that anatomy is not just a collection of parts to be mesmerized, but a living, breathing symphony of design. Thank you. So that's all from the three of us. I'm Amir Mifzal Muhammad Fazli, and the other two, my partner is Norizad and Azri. That's all from us. See you again next time.